brethren, Brother Robbie. It is Monday, or earlier and kind of a weirder day on the route. Yeah, it's always just kind of run, keeping up with whatever they're saying. Very random. A lot of miscommunication. But been great. Anyway, very grateful to have a nice job. And yeah, the one thing I wanted to talk about today is in regards to a new series called The Mandalorian. It's a thing that popped up. I don't know why I clicked on it, but I'm kind of glad I did for educational purposes. Anyway, very, very interesting. Some of the things that were brought up in the show. Kind of weird that it's like you see all these characters that look different. The whole vibe seems kind of different, but yet you see characters in there that look like they are supposed to be what we knew from before in early Star Wars stuff, like Boba Fett, or like a little Yoda looking creature, so they have the ears going out like Yoda. Just certain kind of things that they have mixed in there in order to help make it like seemable, kind of seeming it with the yesterday's Star Wars films that we saw growing up. I was born in 73. The first one came out in 1977 in the theaters. And it's really, really interesting, this little principle about, you don't tell them what it really is until later on, In the Masonic Lodge, I understand that there are, the doctrine overall is a Luciferian doctrine, and they won't tell you who you're serving in the first and third, second, third degrees. You got to go up into the 28, 29, 30, 31, 33, whatever. And then they'll tell you which God you're really serving. And it kind of weirded me out because I was listening to like the Boba Fett kind of creatures, characters. They look like they have helmets like this. And I hear them talking like, why are we having to face these rebels or whatever? They're sorcerers, calling those people, the Jedi's, sorcerers. So when they're using all the levitation and they're using all these things, of course we know that it's not right. And it wasn't like it was the Holy Spirit or something against Satan's spirit with Darth Vader and Darth Maul and the Emperor and all this stuff like this. We know that that's not good. We know that it's like witchcraft, white witchcraft or black witchcraft, and it's all still a witch. White witch or black witch is still a witch, kind of the thought. And just kind of strange, like how they get you involved, and then way later, after you're beyond, embedded into the thing, then they tell you what spirit it really is. Oh, that's sorcery, by the way. Oh, that show you've been watching since you were a kid? All the toys and posters and things you watched and thought it was kind of cool to say the Force be with you, midichlorians and things like this, whatever, the power of the Force. And then you find out 33 years later, very interesting number, that they started to tell you what that Force is all about. The Jedi, who are sorcerers. They tell you that the good guys are even bad. They don't tell you that to you until you're so used to it. You're so slowly embedded in it, like the frog in the kettle thing. And now they can tell you that, by the way, you're into sorcery. Some people just watch it for entertainment purposes. I'm sure there's a lot of people like that. But I'm also sure there's a lot of people who aren't like that. That they take that, the religion of Star Wars, and now it's called the Mandalorian. They take it very seriously. And I understand that over a decade ago that people in Australia or whatever, they said that's our number one religion, is Star Wars. It's a series of stories about spiritual realities that they're experiencing or they're writing about, as if it's real. As if it's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, to make something very strange believable. That's what science fiction was. Now they're kind of showing it to you as though it's something that we understand now. They're using verbiage of the occult, just like a lot of Christian churches are doing. They use the word transcendental and say, "Oh, that just means spiritual." So now we can embrace the verbiage of the occult and act as though it's okay. And they bring it to you after you're so used to it, or some new teacher who's got some new information and then starts throwing these slogans in there and using occultic language in order to describe what you've always known. Same with this thing in the Star Wars realm. Interesting that it took them 33 years, like the 33rd degree of Masonic Lodge. But maybe it was in November of last year, so like 13 months it's been out now. And maybe they did it in the first ones. I'm not going to go through the shows and find out for sure. Did they finally show you in 2020 and they show you what Star Wars was really all about? I'm not going to go. I was thinking about watching the shows, but you have to like stream it, whatever. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to assume that the first time they showed it to you was in this year, that they didn't really get to the conclusion. Just because the show came out in 2019 doesn't mean that they showed you what the Force really was in that year. They could have still exposed it in 2020. So if anybody knows, that's great. But whether 19 or 20, the point still stands that it's a seductive thing that they do. If they told you, "Hi, this is a show about sorcery. It's it's evil spirits that we're working with."
Use the left 2 lanes to keep left to I-96 West, Muskegon.
And so, pretty interesting to me. I just thought it'd be fun to kind of bring that up, but I don't want to get too involved in it. I don't want to bring so many facts and everything about the subject. It's just kind of really interesting that there's a lot of things that are like that, even in Christian circles, that they come off sounding right, and then they start to help you embrace the doctrines of falseness and things that you would have rejected right away. But now that you're used to it, you're kind of worn out, you're kind of tired, don't feel like fighting anymore, and they catch you where you're embracing things that you've always known was wrong. Very seductive thing. So anyways, that was the thought about the Mandalorian. Not into Star Wars anymore. I used to be heavily involved in Star Wars. Had lots of giant posters all over my wall, exclusive posters from clubs and whatever.
Keep left to I-96 West, Muskegon.
I had tons of toys from 1997 when the show started coming back out, the redo version of the Star Wars films, and then all of a sudden the new ones started coming out with the new technology that George Lucas invented. But yeah, this guy is an occultic. He's an occultist, teaching occultism. Just like the Bible has stories and spiritual understandings, so does the Star Wars Mandalorian whole world. Stories with spiritual understanding that is actually teaching sorcery. It's really no different than saying, I'm going to go to a church or a theater, and we're going to learn about this thing because we like it and we believe in it. We believe that this is better than Christianity. It's like spiritism. It's demonic. And people go there and they hear these stories, and it's like a lot of people take it seriously enough to say that that's my religion. And it kind of is like a religion where you have stories, spiritual characters and everything.
In 2.2 miles. Exit to exit 43, M11 West, 28th Street West.
Very interesting, the numbers. Very interesting that they're showing it to us. And very interesting that it's not, I doubt it's tapering off. If this is sorcery, we better drop this like a bad habit. No. I bet you there's a lot of people, even professing believers, who won't even back down on something that's like a different way of bringing it to you. Maybe you didn't go to a certain coven, but you still got all the information. You still got the stories. You're still embracing it to some degree, even if it's entertainment's sake. So it's still pretty interesting how religions work and how this is kind of like a religion, but instead of having a book about it, like a holy book, it's just got a movie series about it. So the medium is just different. Very, very interesting. So anyways, hope that makes sense. Hope that's food for thought. And I hope that you guys have a great day and talk to everybody soon.